Welcome to the audiobook, The Daily Stoic by author Ryan Holiday and author Stephen Hanselman. Introduction of the book. The Daily Stoic isn't a book to rush through, it's meant to be read one page at a time, one day at a time. Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman take ancient wisdom from Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca and present it in a modern, accessible format. The goal is simple: to help you live a better life. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about learning to manage your emotions, focusing on what you can control, and letting go of what you can't. It's about living each day with purpose, clarity, and strength. Each day features a short quote from a Stoic thinker, followed by a plain language explanation and insight into how to apply that wisdom right now. These lessons aren't abstract. They're about how to respond when you're stuck in traffic, when someone annoys you, when you feel overwhelmed or uncertain. The structure of the book is set around themes for each month, making it feel like a year-long journey of reflection and growth. Every month builds on timeless human values: self-awareness, discipline, courage, justice, and resilience. The point is not to memorize quotes or sound philosophical. It's to become a stronger, calmer, more grounded person through small, consistent reflection and action. Let's now move into January, the first month in the Daily Stoic, which focuses on the central Stoic concept of clarity and control, understanding what is and isn't in your power. Let's start with Chapter 1. January is the foundation month. Before anything else, before success, happiness, peace, or progress, you need to understand one simple idea: what is within your control and what is not. Everything in Stoic thinking starts there. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus said it best: some things are up to us and some things are not. It sounds obvious, but most of us forget this every day. We get upset when someone is rude. We stress out about the future. We obsess over things we can't change. But all that does is waste our energy and make us feel worse. The Stoics teach us: if you want to be calm and wise, you must focus only on what is truly yours: your choices, your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. Everything else is external and ultimately out of your hands. This idea shows up again and again throughout January's meditations. Each day, you're reminded that your power lies in how you respond, not what happens. You can't control what other people say or do. You can't control traffic, the weather, or the economy. But you can control your attitude. You can control your decisions. And that's more than enough. You'll also be guided to watch your thoughts and judgments. Stoicism teaches that things aren't good or bad by themselves. It's our opinion that makes them so. For instance, a delay at the airport isn't automatically bad. It's only bad if you label it that way. You could also see it as a chance to rest, read, or reflect. This shift in mindset turns frustration into opportunity. Another lesson from January is the importance of being present. Stoics urge us not to dwell on the past or fear the future. The past is gone. The future hasn't happened. The only time that's real is now. So use it well. Be where you are. Do what you can today. That's where your power is. You'll also be introduced to the idea of the inner citadel. This is the part of you that stays untouched by outside chaos. Even if the world is loud, unfair, or unpredictable, you can retreat into your inner space, your core values, your sense of reason, and find calm. It's like having a shelter in a storm. This practice of returning inward helps you stay grounded. January also brings in discipline. Stoicism isn't just about feeling peaceful. It's about action. If you want to be strong, stable, and wise, you need to practice. That means choosing what's right over what's easy. Showing up every day. Saying no to distractions. Being responsible with your time and your thoughts. Even the concept of amor fati, or love your fate, is introduced this month. It's about embracing everything that happens, even the tough stuff, as something useful. You don't just accept life, you work with it. You say, "This is what life gave me. Let me make something meaningful out of it. As January closes, you'll notice a shift. You'll start to catch yourself in moments of frustration, and instead of snapping or spiraling, you'll pause. You'll remember, this isn't mine to control, but my response is. That tiny change in awareness, repeated daily, is the seed of a Stoic life. So by the end of this first month, you've started a quiet transformation. You're not reacting as blindly. You're thinking more clearly. You're focusing on your circle of control. You're learning to let go of the rest. That's the Stoic way, not to change the world, but to change how you move through it. Let's continue with February, which focuses on the Stoic theme of passions and emotions, teaching us how to better understand and manage our emotional responses. After spending January learning what we can and can't control, February invites us to go deeper into our inner reactions, our moods, and our emotional habits. The Stoics didn't deny emotions existed. They just believed we shouldn't let emotions control us. This month is about learning to master your passions instead of being ruled by them. The Stoic word passion doesn't just mean desire or love, it refers to any powerful emotion that takes you over and clouds your judgment. That includes fear, anger, envy, greed, jealousy, sadness, and even uncontrolled excitement. Stoics didn't say, never feel, they said, don't be ruled by feelings that aren't helpful. The daily readings this month push us to ask, is this emotion helping me or hurting me? For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic and you feel rage rising up, a Stoic would say, pause. What good does anger do here? Does yelling change the situation? Or is it just making your day worse? Most of our emotional reactions are automatic, but Stoicism teaches us to insert a moment of reflection between the event and our response. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, reminds us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. We create unnecessary emotional storms by overthinking, assuming the worst, or letting our mind wander to things outside our control. February's meditations challenge you to be mindful of how often your emotions are reactions to stories you tell yourself, not to fact. One of the biggest emotional traps the Stoics warned about is anger. Anger feels powerful, but it's often destructive, burning bridges, harming relationships, and clouding your thinking. Instead of giving in to that first wave of frustration, the Stoics advise taking a breath. Delay your reaction. Speak carefully. Hold your temper. Not to be weak, but to stay in control. You'll also learn about desire. We often want things so badly, money, status, love, attention, that we become slaves to those wants. Stoicism teaches that chasing endless desires leaves us restless and empty. Real contentment comes not from getting more, but from wanting less. February is a great time to examine your attachments. What do you feel you must have? What happens if you don't get it? The less you depend on outside things to feel good, the freer you are. Then there's fear, especially fear of pain, failure, or rejection. The Stoics taught that fear often holds us back more than reality ever does. We worry about things that never happen, or let the fear of discomfort stop us from doing what's right. In February's readings, you'll be reminded that courage isn't about feeling no fear. It's about acting wisely in spite of it. Another key lesson this month is emotional awareness. Many of us react without knowing why. Stoicism encourages us to stop and reflect. What emotion is this? Why am I feeling it? Is it based on truth? Does it serve me? That process of honest self-inquiry doesn't remove emotion, but it helps you choose what to do with it. You'll also encounter the idea of tranquility, the calm state of a mind that's not pulled in every direction by every feeling. This doesn't mean being numb. It means being steady, peaceful, clear-headed, like a lake that stays still even when the wind picks up. One practice you'll be invited to try is the view from above. This means stepping outside of your momentary feelings and seeing the bigger picture. Imagine your problem from a bird's-eye view, or as if you were giving advice to a friend. That little bit of distance can make a huge emotional difference. By the end of February, if you've been practicing these meditations, you'll begin to notice a shift. You won't stop feeling, but you'll respond, not just react. You'll start to question whether that surge of anger or jealousy or anxiety is really worth holding on to. And slowly, you'll begin to choose your emotions with more care. This month teaches us one of the most powerful Stoic truths. You are not your feelings. You have feelings, but you also have reason. And when you choose reason, you choose freedom. Let's move on to March, which focuses on the powerful Stoic theme of awareness, mindfulness, and presence, learning how to live in the moment with attention and intention. March in the Daily Stoic is all about waking up to life. While January taught us to focus on what we can control, and February trained us to manage emotions, March teaches us how to be present, to live fully in the now, not stuck in the past, not racing into the future. The Stoics believed that the present moment is all we ever truly have. The past is done. The future is uncertain. Only right now is real. And yet, so many of us spend our days mentally somewhere else, regretting what we said yesterday, or worrying about what might happen tomorrow. This month's readings remind us, again and again, return to the present. Act here. Think clearly now. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his journal, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness." That's the heart of this month's lesson. Do what's in front of you, and do it well. When you're washing dishes, wash dishes. When you're speaking with someone, listen fully. When you're working, work. This kind of attention, simple, quiet, focused, is rare today. But it's also powerful. It brings peace, clarity, and a deeper appreciation for life. Many of March's meditations challenge our modern obsession with multitasking. The Stoics weren't against being productive. They just believed that rushing and distraction are signs of an undisciplined mind. They remind us that our energy should go into doing each task with purpose, not doing 10 things at once half-heartedly. Another key teaching in March is self-awareness. It's not just about being present with the world, but also with yourself. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Are you acting on impulse or with intention? Are you living according to your values or just reacting to pressure? This isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about being honest and alert. The more aware you are, the less likely you are to drift into bad habits, emotional outbursts, or wasted time. The Stoics also saw mindfulness as a path to freedom. Why? Because when you are fully present, you're not controlled by fear, guilt, or desire. You're not a prisoner of memory or fantasy. You are right here, grounded in reality, doing what needs to be done. That's what they called living according to nature, not chasing illusions, but engaging with the world as it truly is. One powerful reminder from this month is, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Life is short. Time is not promised. So don't waste today distracted or disengaged. Don't sleepwalk through your one and only life. Another key part of March's meditations is developing the habit of pausing before action. You learn to take a breath before reacting. You check in with yourself. You ask, is this the right move? Is it aligned with my principles? That short pause, just a few seconds of presence, can prevent a lot of regret later on. You'll also be encouraged to let go of mental noise. That endless inner chatter about what could happen, what people think, what might go wrong, it's exhausting. And most of it isn't helpful. This month invites you to quiet the noise and tune into the stillness underneath. By the end of March, the practice of presence begins to feel less like an effort and more like a refuge. You'll find comfort in slowing down. You'll notice details you missed before. You'll feel more in tune with your actions and your values. And most importantly, you'll begin to realize that a meaningful life isn't built in the future. It's built now, one conscious moment at a time. Let's move into April, which centers around the Stoic theme of right action, the discipline of doing what is just, fair, and aligned with virtue, even when it's hard. April, right action. April in the Daily Stoic shifts the focus from internal reflection to external behavior. After 3 months of learning how to control your thoughts, emotions, and presence, now it's time to ask the essential Stoic question: what should I do? For the Stoics, philosophy wasn't about fancy ideas. It was about action. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop talking. Start doing. This month's teachings push you to live out your values, not just think about them. Every day presents a choice. Do you do the right thing or the easy thing? Do you act with courage or give in to fear? Do you help someone or stay silent? These aren't big, dramatic questions. They show up in everyday decisions, in how you speak, how you work, how you treat others. April emphasizes virtue as the only true good. The Stoics didn't believe happiness came from pleasure, money, or reputation. They believed it came from doing the right thing, regardless of the outcome. That means acting with honesty, fairness, discipline, and courage, even when no one's watching, even when it's uncomfortable. One key idea in April is the importance of duty. Stoics believed we all have roles to play: parent, partner, friend, citizen, leader, and that fulfilling those roles with excellence is a form of service. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, doing your best, and staying committed to your principles. You'll also learn about moral clarity. Right action isn't just about being nice, it's about being strong in virtue. That sometimes means saying no, standing up to wrong, or taking responsibility when others won't. Doing what's right often takes more effort, but it also builds character and self-respect. Another message from this month: you always have a choice. Even when you're pressured, afraid, or uncertain, you can choose how to act. You can be calm when others are angry. You can be fair when others are selfish. You can be brave when others are scared. That's power, not over others but over yourself. Stoicism also encourages you to act now, not later. April challenges procrastination with the idea that virtue doesn't wait. You don't become a good person someday. You become one today through your actions. Start where you are. Do the next right thing, even if it's small. You'll also explore the idea of living deliberately. Don't just drift through your days. Decide what kind of person you want to be and act like it. Choose meaningful work. Choose to be kind. Choose to be disciplined. And if you fail, as we all do, choose to get back up and try again. Another lesson: let results go. The Stoics said we control our effort, not the outcome. Do your best, act with integrity, and leave the rest. Whether others notice or things turn out well isn't up to you. What matters is that you stayed true to your values. By the end of April, you'll see how real power doesn't come from control, wealth, or winning. It comes from consistently choosing to do the right thing, even when it's hard, even when no one sees. That's how Stoics define success. Because in the end, your actions shape your character, and your character is your destiny. Let's continue with May, which explores the Stoic theme of virtue and moral clarity, what it truly means to live a good life, based on internal values rather than external rewards. May dives deeper into the Stoic idea that virtue is the highest good. This month is about defining what kind of person you want to be, not in theory, but in action. The Stoics believed that all happiness, all meaning, all peace comes from living a virtuous life. That means being honest, just, brave, wise, and self-disciplined, not just when it's convenient, but as a way of being. So what is virtue really? To the Stoics, it wasn't about perfection. It was about consistent moral effort, aligning your actions with reason, fairness, and what's right, even when no one is watching. In modern terms, it means acting with integrity, doing the right thing, even if it's hard, unpopular, or invisible. Because at the end of the day, the person you become is the result of your repeated actions, not your words, wishes, or excuses. This month's reflections focus on moral clarity, the ability to see clearly what's right and wrong. That clarity comes from asking yourself simple questions. Is this fair? Is this honest? Would I be proud of this choice? Would I want this action known? May also reminds us that external rewards are not true success. You might earn money, win praise, gain followers, but if you compromise your values along the way, you haven't really succeeded. As Marcus Aurelius put it, just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. Throughout May, you're encouraged to think about what kind of legacy you're building. Are you shaping a life of character, or chasing short-term wins? Are you growing stronger morally, or simply reacting to what others expect? The Stoics didn't believe virtue was some high and mighty concept. It showed up in small decisions, being kind to someone who's rude, telling the truth when it would be easier to lie, finishing a job well even when no one will check, holding your tongue when you're angry, speaking up when it would be easier to stay quiet. And they warned that without virtue, nothing else matters. You can have power, fame, and wealth, and still feel empty or ashamed inside. But if you have virtue, even in hardship, you will have dignity, strength, and peace. This month also addresses moral blind spot. Are you acting out of habit or principle? Are you using cleverness to justify things you know aren't right? The Stoics challenge you to be honest with yourself, because growth doesn't come from pretending, it comes from recognizing your weaknesses and working to improve them. Another important message is this: virtue is active, not passive. It's not just about avoiding bad behavior, it's about creating good, helping others, speaking out against injustice, practicing compassion, courage, and humility in real situations. Being stoic doesn't mean being silent, it means being principled. As you move through May, the repeated message is clear: live as if your soul were a temple. Guard your integrity. Make your choices count. Don't lower your standards because others have. Don't compromise your values because it's easier. By the end of this month, you'll see that the good life isn't something you wait for or wish for. It's something you build, moment by moment, decision by decision, with clarity, courage, and moral focus. That's the Stoic path. Not loud, not flashy, but deeply meaningful. Let's continue with June, where the theme is duty and responsibility, a core Stoic idea that encourages us to fulfill our roles in life with commitment, integrity, and service to others. June brings a powerful shift in focus, from internal self-mastery to how we show up for others and contribute to the world around us. This month is all about duty, the roles we are called to play and the responsibilities we carry, not because someone's watching, but because it's right. To the Stoics, being a good person isn't just about how you feel or what you believe. It's about what you do, especially when things are hard or inconvenient. We all have duties, whether we like them or not. As a parent, you have a duty to your children. As a friend, you have a duty to be honest and supportive. As a citizen, you have a duty to help your community. As a human being, you have a duty to live with justice and reason. June's readings constantly bring you back to this core idea. You were born to do your part. You're not here to drift through life, avoiding effort. You're here to step up, take responsibility, and serve something greater than yourself. The Stoics believed we're all part of a larger system: family, society, humanity. When each person fulfills their role with care and virtue, the world works better. When we avoid our responsibilities, we weaken the whole. So even if the task seems small or thankless, your effort matters. June also challenges the modern idea that life is all about personal freedom and self-interest. Stoicism says freedom comes not from avoiding duty, but from choosing to carry it with strength and pride. That means showing up, not for applause, but because it's the right thing to do. Stoics believed in doing your job well, whether it's leading a company, sweeping a floor, raising children, or helping a neighbor. One key point this month is the idea of role clarity. You are not just a person with abstract virtues, You are a specific person with specific responsibilities. Ask yourself, what is my role here? What does this situation require from me? Am I rising to the task or making excuses? You'll also encounter the concept of silent service. That means doing good without needing credit. You take responsibility without needing attention. You handle your business without dragging others into your drama. This isn't about pride, it's about purpose. Another teaching this month: don't avoid hard things. A Stoic doesn't turn away from pain, pressure, or mess. A Stoic leans in. If you see something that needs doing, whether it's solving a problem, comforting someone, or standing up for what's right, you do it. Not because it's easy, but because you've trained yourself to be the kind of person who acts. Stoicism also emphasizes consistency in your duties. Don't just show up when it feels good. Show up always. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. You'll be reminded that your greatest responsibility is to your own character. If you betray your duties, if you cut corners, lie, blame, or slack, you weaken your inner strength. But if you carry your role with honor, even in quiet or unnoticed ways, you grow. By the end of June, you may feel tired, but in a good way. Like someone who's doing the hard work of building a life that matters. You'll realize that duty is not a burden, it's a path to meaning. And every day, you have a chance to live up to your role with courage, fairness, and quiet strength. That's what it means to walk the Stoic path. Not just thinking noble thoughts, but living them through action. Let's move into July, where the Stoic theme shifts to duty to others. A deeper exploration of how we treat people, contribute to society, and live in harmony with our shared humanity. July continues the conversation started in June about responsibility, but now the focus turns specifically to our relationships with others. The Stoics believed that we are social creatures by nature, created to live and work with others, not just for ourselves. This month reminds us that Stoicism isn't cold or individualistic. It's deeply connected to community, empathy, and service. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What injures the hive, injures the bee." In other words, if society suffers, you suffer too. If you act selfishly, it weakens not just others, it weakens you. The Stoics saw virtue as a collective good. Being a good person wasn't just a private goal, it was how you brought peace, justice, and harmony to those around you. This month's meditations emphasize interconnectedness. You're not alone, and you're not meant to live for yourself alone. The way you treat your spouse, your coworkers, your neighbors, even strangers, matters. Are you adding to the peace or the chaos? Are you building people up or tearing them down? Your words and actions have weight, even if you don't realize it. Another big idea in July is patience with people. Stoics knew that others can be rude, selfish, slow, or mean. But that's not a reason to abandon your principles. Stoicism teaches, you can't control their behavior, but you can control your response. And the response, always, should be one of calm strength and compassion. You'll be encouraged to see difficult people as teachers, chances to practice self-control, forgiveness, and humility. If someone insults you, lies about you, or annoys you, the Stoics say, don't take the bait. Pause. Ask, what is within my power right now? Usually, the answer is, stay calm, speak with kindness, and move on. You'll also reflect on the idea of doing good without expecting thanks. The Stoics taught that your duty is to be useful, to serve, to care, not for praise or rewards, but because it's right. If you help someone and they don't say thank you, that's okay. You didn't help them for the thank you. You helped them because you're the kind of person who helps. This month also introduces the practice of active goodwill, intentionally wishing well to others, even when they've wronged you. That doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means refusing to let bitterness grow in your heart. It means seeing others not as enemies, but as fellow travelers, each with their own struggles and blind spots. One very Stoic practice you'll explore in July is assumption of ignorance. Instead of assuming someone is evil or malicious, assume they are mistaken. They don't know better. They haven't been taught. This mindset helps reduce anger and increases understanding. July's lessons also remind us that leadership starts with example. If you want others to act better, show them what it looks like. Be fair. Be generous. Be honest. Even if no one follows your lead, you've still done what's right. And that alone is worth it. Finally, you'll be reminded that we're all mortal, and so are the people around us. Life is short. So forgive. Connect. Don't let ego, pride, or petty conflicts stand in the way of love or reconciliation. If today were your last, how would you want to speak? How would you want to treat those around you? By the end of July, Stoic practice becomes not just a way to live well alone, but a way to live well with others. It teaches that dignity, kindness, and integrity aren't just personal values, they're gifts you give to the world. Because the true Stoic doesn't walk alone. They walk with grace, compassion, and strength, leaving every room, every relationship, every life they touch, just a little bit better than they found it. Let's continue with August, where the theme centers on the discipline of will, the Stoic strength of inner endurance, resilience, and gracefully accepting what we cannot change. August is all about building mental toughness, but not through force or aggression. In Stoic philosophy, the most powerful strength is quiet strength, the ability to endure life's challenges with calm, dignity, and purpose. The Stoics called this the discipline of will. This discipline isn't about overpowering others. It's about mastering yourself, especially in hard times. Life doesn't always go your way. People disappoint you. Plans fall apart. Illness, loss, and failure are part of the journey. Stoicism doesn't deny this. It prepares you for it. This month, the meditations teach you how to stay steady in the storm. Instead of breaking down or giving up, the Stoic learns to say, "This is hard, but I can handle it." That confidence doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from training your mind to face discomfort with clarity, not panic. You'll be reminded of one of Stoicism's core truths: what happens is not up to you, but how you respond is. That means you always have a choice. Even in loss, even in pain, you can still choose courage. You can still choose kindness. You can still choose to carry yourself with honor. August also teaches you to practice acceptance. That doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of resistance to things outside your control. If it's raining, don't curse the sky. If someone wrongs you, don't let resentment consume you. As Epictetus said, don't seek for things to happen the way you want them to, rather, wish that what happens happen as it does, then you will be happy. That's the essence of a powerful Stoic idea. Amor fati, the love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing it as necessary, even beneficial. Why? Because hardship shapes you. Struggle strengthens you. Everything that happens is an opportunity to grow in virtue. You'll also be invited this month to reflect on mortality. Not to feel fear, but to feel focus. Remembering that life is short helps you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. It sharpens your will. It makes you brave. If today were your last, what would you stand for? What would you let go of? Another key lesson in August is about persistence. Some battles aren't won in a day. The Stoics didn't promise instant change. They taught consistency. Doing the right thing over and over, especially when it's boring or difficult. That's how real strength is built. Not through one grand gesture, but through small daily efforts that add up. This month also asks, what are you preparing for? Stoics train not for peace alone, but for challenge. If life is calm now, use it to get stronger, so you're ready when trouble comes. Don't wait for crisis to test your character. Build your will now. And finally, you'll explore the idea that your will is your fortress. It's the part of you no one can touch. Not fate, not critics, not misfortune. If you protect that inner space, you stay free. No matter what happens outside, you remain true to yourself. By the end of August, you'll begin to see that strength isn't loud. It's not about showing off. It's about how you carry pain, how you stand in uncertainty, how you keep your values even when things fall apart. Because Stoic will isn't about resisting reality, it's about rising with it. Let's move into September, where the Stoic theme is fortitude and resilience, a deeper dive into how to hold steady, bounce back, and endure what life throws your way without losing your principles. September builds directly on the lessons of August. If August was about developing your inner will, then September is about testing it in the real world. It's about facing difficulties head-on and learning not just to survive them, but to emerge from them wiser and stronger. Fortitude in Stoicism doesn't mean pretending things are easy. It means doing what needs to be done even when it's hard. It means enduring discomfort, staying steady through criticism, and continuing to act with virtue, no matter the obstacles. Throughout this month, the readings ask you to reflect on your relationship with hardship. Do you see pain and struggle as something to avoid? Or as something that might teach you, shape you, refine you? Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that pain is natural, part of being human. He wrote, "If something is difficult for you to bear, don't think it's impossible. Think, others have endured it, and so can I." That quiet confidence is a key part of Stoic resilience. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's calm, steady, and enduring. You'll also be challenged this month to rethink failure. The Stoics didn't fear failure. They feared failing to try, failing to learn, failing to act with integrity. If you fall down, fine, just get back up. Failure is only real if it breaks your spirit. Otherwise, it's just training. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about bouncing back with your character intact. September also emphasizes the idea that adversity reveals who we are. Anyone can be kind when life is smooth. Anyone can be calm when things are going their way. But who are you when plans fall apart? When someone wrongs you? When you're under pressure? The Stoics believed that tough times don't build character, they reveal it. So if you're struggling, the question isn't, why is this happening? But, what kind of person am I going to be through this? One of the most powerful practices this month is to prepare your mind for difficulty, not in a pessimistic way, but in a realistic, courageous way. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, imagining what could go wrong, so you're not shocked when it does. That mental rehearsal builds inner stability. You'll also explore how to endure without bitterness. Life may test you, but you don't have to become hard or angry in return. True Stoic resilience includes gentleness, a refusal to let hardship close your heart. As Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. And you do that by showing up with kindness, even when life hasn't been kind to you. Another lesson from September is to find meaning in the struggle. Ask, what is this teaching me? What strength is this calling out of me? What virtues, like patience, courage, forgiveness, am I being invited to practice right now? Because for the Stoic, every moment is an opportunity to train the soul. By the end of September, you'll start to see hardship not just as something to survive, but as something that can serve your growth. You won't love pain, but you'll no longer fear it the same way. You'll begin to trust that whatever comes, you can carry it well. Because real resilience isn't about avoiding life's weight. It's about becoming strong enough to carry it, and still walk with purpose and grace. Let's move into October, where the Stoic theme turns to virtue and the inner life, deepening your connection to the values and inner standards that guide you, especially when the outside world is noisy or unstable. By October, the Daily Stoic shifts your attention inward once more, not to escape the world, but to anchor yourself in virtue, regardless of what the world throws at you. This month is about reconnecting with your inner compass, your reason, your sense of justice, your core values. The Stoics believed that the only thing truly yours in life is your character. Everything else, money, reputation, physical comfort, even relationships, is temporary. but who you choose to be, how you act when no one is looking, and the virtues you build within yourself. That's eternal. That's your real self. October's readings focus on this internal world. They remind you that real peace and strength come from within. You could be praised or criticized, rich or poor, sick or healthy, but none of that changes your ability to act with courage, fairness, honesty, and self-discipline. You'll be asked often this month, what kind of person are you becoming? What are you tolerating in yourself that weakens you? Are you growing in virtue or just going through the motions? One key idea you'll explore is that external success doesn't equal moral success. You can look successful and still feel lost or hollow inside. You can win applause and still betray your values. Stoicism flips the question, not what do others think of me, but what do I think of myself when I look in the mirror? That's where your attention should live. October also introduces the idea of conscience as a daily guide. That means listening to your own sense of right and wrong, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. This month encourages you to live simply, think clearly, and hold yourself to your own highest standard. You'll also be reminded that solitude is not loneliness. The Stoics saw time alone as a time for strengthening, not withdrawing, but reflecting. This is where self-correction, clarity, and renewal happen. Don't fear being alone with your thoughts. Use that time to ask deeper questions, reset your goals, or just breathe. Another key theme this month is quiet integrity. You don't need to broadcast your values. You don't need a spotlight to be good. Stoic virtue is quiet, humble, and inwardly focused. It's about doing the right thing without needing applause or reward. It's about walking your talk. You'll also reflect on the power of self-honesty. You can fool others, but not yourself. The Stoics ask, are you lying to yourself to avoid discomfort? Are you cutting corners and calling it pragmatism? The daily practice of checking in with your conscience keeps your moral muscles strong. October challenges you to see virtue not as an achievement, but as a daily practice. It's in how you wake up, how you speak, how you work, how you think. You don't become virtuous. You train in virtue every day, just like an athlete trains their body. By the end of October, you'll begin to feel the grounding strength of living from the inside out. You'll rely less on other people's approval. You'll stop chasing highs or fleeing from discomfort. Instead, you'll turn inward, stand taller, and trust your moral foundation. Because the Stoic life isn't about changing the world. It's about changing how you move through it, with wisdom, humility, and the quiet, unwavering strength of character. Let's continue with November, where the Stoic focus shifts to acceptance and letting go, the art of releasing attachment to outcomes, control, and ego in order to live with greater peace and freedom. As the year begins to wind down, November invites you into one of the hardest, but most liberating, Stoic disciplines: acceptance. This month challenges your grip on expectations, on pride, on control, and asks, can you let go of what doesn't serve your growth? In Stoicism, acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means clarity. It's not giving up. It's giving up the illusion that you control everything, that you can force people to behave a certain way, that life must unfold according to your plan, that your worth depends on success, comfort, or recognition. November brings this lesson to the forefront. What happens is not always yours to choose, but how you respond is. This month, you'll revisit one of the core Stoic ideas, amor fati, the love of fate. Not just tolerating what happens, but embracing it, using every moment, even the painful ones, as raw material for virtue. It's about saying, this is what life has given me. Let me meet it with strength. You'll also explore how to release the past. Stoics believed it's pointless to dwell on regrets or replay old wrongs. The past is unchangeable. The only thing you control is your current mindset and the next step you take. Forgiveness of yourself and others is part of this practice, not because it erases harm, but because it frees you from dragging that harm forward. Another major theme is ego detachment. Are you holding on to an image of yourself? An expectation of how things should be? Stoics remind us, ego is fragile. It's easily bruised, constantly hungry for praise, terrified of failure. Letting go of ego means you can live more honestly, do the work without needing validation, admit mistakes, ask for help, and stay humble in success. This month also urges you to let go of the need for control. Stoicism doesn't teach indifference, it teaches trust. Trust in your training. Trust in your ability to respond well, no matter what happens. When you let go of controlling every detail, you free up energy to focus on what truly matters: your thoughts, choices, and character. November's teachings highlight a paradox. True strength comes from surrender. Not to weakness, but to reality. When you accept life as it is, not how you want it to be, you become calm, clear, and deeply grounded. Letting go is also about space. The more attachments, anxieties, and grudges you release, the more space you create for peace, joy, and creativity. Many readings this month will encourage simplicity, mentally, emotionally, even physically. Ask, what am I carrying that I no longer need? Another key practice is letting go of outcomes. You can control effort, not result. You can work hard, love deeply, lead bravely, but how others respond, what happens next, what rewards come, that's not in your hands. A Stoic does their duty and releases the rest. By the end of November, you'll begin to understand that peace isn't found in controlling everything. It's found in accepting what is, and doing what's right anyway. Because when you let go of what you can't control, you finally take hold of what you can: your freedom, your focus, and your power to live fully, here and now. Let's finish strong with December, the final month in the Daily Stoic, where the theme is meditation on mortality, a powerful reminder of life's brevity and how awareness of death helps us live more fully and meaningfully. As the year ends, the Daily Stoic takes you to the final, and perhaps most transformative, lesson of all: remembering that you are mortal. Not to scare you, not to depress you, but to wake you up. December centers on a simple truth: life is short. We don't know how much time we have. Tomorrow is not promised. That truth, when faced honestly, sharpens everything. It clarifies your choices. It helps you stop wasting time, stop putting off what matters, stop living in distraction. The Stoics had a name for this practice: memento mori, remember you will die. To many, that sounds grim. But to a Stoic, it was grounding. It reminded them, you're alive now. Don't sleepwalk through it. This month's readings encourage you to look at your day and ask, if this were my last, would I be proud of how I spent it? Did I show love? Did I keep my word? Did I focus on what mattered? Not to create fear, but to inspire courage. You don't have time for petty drama, grudges, or excuses. You have time for virtue. You have time for love. You have time to build a life that means something. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. That's the Stoic approach. Not morbid. Not panicked. Just clear and focused. December also reminds you that you can't take anything with you. Not money. Not fame. Not possessions. All that truly matters is what you leave behind in others: your example, your values, your love, your courage. So live like someone who will be remembered not for what they had, but for how they lived. You'll be invited this month to reflect on death, not in fear, but in gratitude. If today is all you get, then everything becomes more precious: a hug, a walk, a meal, a quiet moment. Stoicism teaches you to stop rushing, stop resenting, stop numbing, and instead, show up. One of the final lessons this month is the importance of urgency with virtue. Stop waiting to be kinder. Stop delaying growth. Don't say, I'll start tomorrow. Life is happening now. Do the thing. Make the call. Fix the mistake. Say the truth. Be the person you know you can be. December also reminds us that death is the great equalizer. It comes for kings and workers, poets and politicians. No one escapes it. That reality should humble you, but also empower you. If death comes for us all, then life is your one chance to act with intention, to create beauty, to practice justice, to love fiercely and live wisely. By the end of December, you may find that Stoicism is not about cold detachment, it's about passionate presence. It's about living with clarity, urgency, and honor, because time is the one thing you can never get back. And that is the great gift of remembering your mortality. It teaches you how to live,